Welcome everybody to Couples Crusade and welcome to our first top 5 video. Today we're going to be talking about Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, and taking a look at the top 5 moments that made Izzy rage the most. We'll be taking a look at this from Izzy's perspective, as this was her first time playing the game. Let's go. Coming up at number 5, we have one of the most annoying areas in the game, and that is the Spider Cave. No, I'm not talking about the entire level, I'm talking about a certain area I like to call the construction site. This area has almost every annoying platformer trope imaginable. Take it away, Izzy.
The Spider Cave area was infuriating altogether, but this area in particular made me want to torch this shitty cave and leave it all behind. Not only does this platforming section have annoying and strangely creepy drill enemies, it also has platforms that drop away from your feet, which I seem to forget, weird spinny tubes of death, and barbecues on steroids. And I hope you're good at timing, because these poles aren't very forgiving if you're a split second off like I was most of the time. If you want to collect everything in this area, prepare to die a few times and fall off in the most stupid ways imaginable.
Coming up at number 4, we have Golem MAIA's boss fight. Now this boss fight isn't too hard, but really it's the small things that get you at just the right time. Because let's face it, it's much more funny to see someone fail, until that person playing looks at you with murderous intent. Take it away, Izzy.
This boss battle, while not really difficult, had some really irritating moments which made me die an embarrassing amount of times. The fight itself is pretty simple. The boss spawns some annoying spiky purple enemies, creates some insanely hard to dodge shockwaves, and launches giant yellow balls at your face. The enemies that spawn can easily overwhelm you and make you lose part of your much needed health. As for the shockwaves, this was the hardest part for me as the game glitched out and made Jak go invisible when he got hit. I still have no idea how the hell to dodge those shockwaves. I honestly just shat myself and guessed. The yellow balls phase were a breeze after this. As you defeat the boss, or so you think you'd defeat it, it jumps into a cutscene which makes you think you're all finished. When the cutscene ended, I couldn't tell and stared stupidly at the screen for 10 seconds until I realized I had to collect the white E-code to finish the boss once and for all. And am I the only one wondering why we can only hear MAIA screaming? Where the hell did Gull go?
Coming up at number 3, we have the ring race. And I'm not talking about no purple rings, I'm talking about those goddamn blue rings. Truly the devil's color. Well, at least from Izzy's perspective. You'll be racing through each ring before they time out with the help of your handy but hard to control zoomer, whilst facing quite a few obstacles along the way. Take it away, Izzy.
Anytime I have to go through rings that are timed in a game, I almost always end up mentally unstable. This was my first time controlling the zoomer and oh boy, I was not prepared for how long it would take me to get the hang of it. For the longest time, I didn't know you could brake, so I was speeding around corners, smashing into walls, and falling off platforms. The most difficult aspect of the ring race was knowing where the hell the next one was going to be. Sometimes it was impossible to know where the next one was, so you either got lucky or memorized the pattern through trial and error. I can still feel my rage and pain as I missed the second last ring and accepted that I would never complete this race without damaging Hamish's controller.
And I'd just like to point out that I actually had to complete this race for her, and that, that's not bad on her part. She just, she was ready to kill a bitch. Coming up at number 2, we have what seems to be a lot of people's least favourite minigame, the fish minigame. There's not much to this game at all really. Catch 200 pounds of fish total by getting either the 1 pound fish or the 5 pound fish. Just avoid missing 20 pounds or catching a poisonous fish, or too bad buddy, game over. Once again with this challenge, I actually ended up having to help Izzy complete it. Take it away, Izzy.
The fish minigame is a terrifying creation, which I hated as soon as I saw what it would entail. The fish you are supposed to catch are fast and sometimes spaced out across the river, making it nearly impossible to zigzag between them. Avoiding the poisonous eels can get really hard when the game gets faster. They are often positioned so that you can easily be tricked into catching them when going for a big fish. With the eels being an instant failure and only being able to miss 20 pounds of fish, your reactions have to be lightning fast. I misheard the weird fisherman and thought you only had to catch 100 pounds of fish, so I was not so pleasantly surprised upon hearing about the 200 pound requirement.
You did it! You caught 200 pounds of fish!
Coming up at number 1, the final contender. The thing that pushed Izzy to the point of pure rage is none other than the mighty KLAWW. Sorry. This is another boss battle, one that isn't too hard, but you better keep your cool and not panic, because those two things are what will get you the most in this fight. I mean, if the idea of a big gorilla throwing meatballs at your face while standing in a warm pool of lava isn't distracting, then I just don't know what is. Take it away, Izzy.
You might be surprised that this boss is number 1. I mean, he's actually pretty easy. Yet somehow, most of my fails were made in this boss arena. Whenever floating platforms and lava are involved, I start to panic. Throw in a monster throwing boulders at you, which forces you to jump between said platforms, and you've got me having a panic attack. KLAWW gets aggressive in his boulder throwing in the second phase of the battle, which makes you second guess all your jumps. I made some really stupid moves which had Hamish performing some really aggressive nail biting. My most terrible failure was not realizing that you didn't have to keep running after the 3rd time you hit him, which means that the fiery death I died was all in vain. Rest in peace, my sanity, and KLAWW's balls.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our very first top 5 video. For these types of videos, we're going to be, working with scripts, so it was a bit different for us, trying to get used to this. But yeah, it was very different. We enjoyed making it, and we hope you enjoyed watching it just as much as we enjoyed doing it. And yeah, expect more top 5s and maybe top 10s in the future. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and join the Crusade. See you later.
See you guys!